Welcome to Campaign Tutorials. Have you been sitting on leads that never booked? Let's fix that fast. In this video, I'll show you how to spin up the Re-Engaging Inactive Leads campaign template in just a few clicks. This AI-generated campaign helps you reconnect with cold prospects without the usual manual outreach grind. We'll walk through the campaign manager together and set this up as an ongoing campaign so your leads are automatically re-engaged. Let's dive in. We'll start on the Campaign Manager page inside the Replify portal, which you can find on the left-hand panel. Once you're here, if you already have active campaigns, you'll see them listed. But today, we're going to create a new campaign. You'll land on the template selection screen, where you can choose between simple outreach and ongoing sequence. For this use case, since we want to re-engage inactive leads over a longer period and potentially reach each contact more than once, we'll choose ongoing sequence. Right here, I can see the Re-Engage Inactive Leads template. I can also confirm it uses both phone and email, which I already have configured as outbound channels on my account. Go ahead and click Use Template. Next, give your campaign a name that you'll easily recognize later, then click Create Campaign. Once inside the campaign, you'll notice that campaign template defaults have already been applied. Anytime you see a green prompt that says, please review this template value and customize it for your needs, that's your cue to double check the content and make sure it fits your business. For this demo, I'm also going to add some internal notes so I can reference this campaign later. Perfect. Now let's review the campaign goal the template created for us. This one is designed to re-engage inactive leads who previously showed interest but never booked, and move them toward a conversation or appointment with the front desk. That's exactly the outcome I want, especially since interested leads will be transferred directly to my front desk team. Next, we'll set the campaign schedule. You can choose when your campaign begins running. I'm going to set mine to start in the future, February 26th, but you can change this anytime before your campaign goes live. For the time of first outreach, I'm setting this to 9 o'clock sounds good, since that's when my audience is most likely to be available. Moving into delivery and timing, you'll see the template has already selected phone and email. Since my contacts will have both, I'll be leaving this as is. The first outreach has also been pre-configured. Right now, the campaign starts with an email check-in that references the contact's first name and asks if they're still interested. This looks good to me. I might change it to phone before I go live after I simulate a couple times, but for now, I'll keep the template's recommendation. Next is outreach pacing. This controls how many attempts the campaign will make per contact before stopping. If you increase this number, the system will continue to reaching out until the contact is disqualified or converts. I'm going to leave this at the template default of 4 attempts. You can now customize your follow-up frequency using plain English. For example, my sequence in this custom interval says on day 1, it'll send an email, a call on day 3, an email on day 7, and a call on day 12. This spaces outreach more aggressively up front and then tapers over time. I'm happy with that setup, so I'll leave it as is. For the email provider, the default is the Libby email service. You can switch to an email provider if you use something like Emma, but for simplicity, I'll keep the default. On the next page, we have behavior and rules. This is where you can add campaign-specific knowledge or additional AI instructions. Everything here looks solid for my use case, so I'm not making changes. Now let's configure contact eligibility. I'm going to include contacts who haven't said no or wants to unsubscribe, but I added this to the contact eligibility criteria to automatically remove contacts if they schedule or get transferred to the front desk during a conversation in the campaign. If you don't want to do this, you can also remove contacts via an API if their status changes somewhere else in your system and you want to capture that. Finally, on the summary page, you can review everything and test your campaign. I'm going to click Save and Manage Campaign so we can simulate next, since you can do this after. Inside the campaign dashboard, you'll see the configuration panel. From here, you can simulate, go live, or add contacts whenever you're ready. Let's run a quick simulation. Even without contacts added, you can simulate using a test profile. The sample contact John is here, so I'll start the simulation. Right away, I can see the first outreach email with subject and body exactly as configured. From here, you can simulate replies or preview the next outreach step. Everything looks good, and the follow-up seems to trigger exactly as expected. So I'm ready to add real contacts. To add contacts, you can import via CSV, import via email, API integration, inbound contacts, or add contacts manually. And for this demo, I have a CSV ready with contacts that include both phone and email, so I'll use that. Perfect. I can see the fields are mapping correctly for first name, email, and phone. I'll go ahead and upload the CSV. Once I confirm, you can see all of my contacts have been added to the campaign. Before going live, I want to make sure that everything in my configuration looks good, because once I go live, I can't go back and edit my campaign anymore. So make sure that you're testing with the simulate button as many times as you want before going live. But I think I'm ready with this campaign, so I'll click go live. You'll see the statuses of these contacts are moving into planning. At this stage, the AI is preparing the outreach based on your campaign configuration. Once the AI completes the planning phase, it'll go into awaiting execution, where you'll see that the email is scheduled for February 26th at 9 a.m., exactly when I configured it for, and it has the correct email subject and body. If I wanted to approve all of these before going live with them, I could do that and switch on manual review. So none of these will get sent out until I approve each individual message. But for now, I won't do that. So the next time these will get an outreach is on February 26th. As outreaches continue to go out to your customers, you'll see the progress bar go from 0 to 4. And if somebody becomes a disqualified contact or gets removed from the campaign because of the contact eligibility criteria, you'll see that happen in the status of that contact. You'll also see outreach history populate, so you can track how each contact is progressing. From here, you can also pause contacts, remove contacts, or add new ones at any time. You can also visit the Performance tab to monitor channel distribution, total contacts, and phone versus email performance. And if you ever want to review what your AI knows about this campaign and everything you've configured, you can always check the configuration panel. And just like that, you've launched a re-engagement campaign that automatically reaches out to your inactive leads over time. Hope this helped. Thanks for watching.